Hola, ¿qué pasa, campeones? My name is Diego, and this is DSpot, once again reporting for SB Nation's award-winning platform, Barça Blaugranes, your place for all of your Barça-related news. Here today to discuss all of the latest what updates, rumors, transfers, possible transfers, ones that are unlikely to happen, whatever it might be, whatever it is that you wanted to discuss is going to happen on this show. So make sure you drop in your comments in the comment section below as per usual while we get this show started. All right? It's been a while. I missed you. Let's get cracking. Yes. That's it. I'm back. It's been a while. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. I've said it before. Rakim, quoting one of the greatest in hip-hop to ever do it. And first of all, let me just start off with a little apology. Okay, I've been on a little bit of a hiatus. It's only been, a week or so, maybe 2 weeks. But just been dealing with a bunch of stuff. And I was meant to go live yesterday, but I got in a crash, man. Look at that. I had an accident. And it's not what it looks like. It wasn't a physical altercation. It did involve my body getting broken down. You see my knees and my elbows. I got in a little bit of a crash with my bike. But we'll be alright. We'll be alright. So what's up? J-Mules Buns saying, Salud. What's going on, J-Mules? Do like J-Mules and keep submitting your comments. Keep blowing up the chat and blowing up the emojis. Because let's take advantage of the time to have a little chat, shall we? I've made it a little more oscuro. I've darkened it down a little bit. Makes me look like I'm in a fucking hostage situation. I'm sure I'm not. But just wanted to try this out, see if it, kind of fits the mood. And if you're new to this platform, I should say, if you are new, then make sure you subscribe, okay, to Barça Blaugranes over on Twitter. And while you're at it, jump over to my personal YouTube channel, youtube.com/C/DSpot, because that's another spot right there that you don't want to miss out on. That's a good spot if you're a Barça fan. A lot of stuff, a lot of content going up on there on a regular basis. And when you do, subscribe and hit that notifications button so you don't miss out on any of that good old content, okay? But now, without any further ado, I see Ashakir, a bunch of the DSpot Barça Blaugranes loyals, talking and saying hello, saying who's coming, who's leaving. Let's have a little look, shall we? Let's delve into this topic a little bit deeper, because it is in the end what we all want to know. After the season is now wound down, nobody's happy with the doblete. We all want that Champions League trophy, and going back to playing that 4-3-3 Barça style, that attacking Barça style that made us so proud, that made us the envy of the world during the Laporta and Guardiola era. And it does feel like we are straining away from that all the more. Little by little, we're look, I was trying to avoid it, but I'm just gonna call out names. Bartomeu is getting, just straying away, drifting away from that identity that made us the world envy at some point in time. So let's go over the news. Let me take you over to the Barça Blaugranes Twitter account. Let me share with you my screen. There it is. Okay. Now, before we get into the transfer business, I wanted to point out a little bit of I think a good article here that talks about the signings, the signings of the season, grading the people that came in last year. Since we are talking about the new we will be talking about the new signings. Let's talk about the signings that we saw come in last season. And over here, who's the Daniel over here, our correspondent Daniel, put a mark behind each and every signing. And I want to have a look at this and see if you guys agree. So make sure you drop in your comments as we go through this, starting with Dembele, following with Paulinho, Yerry Mina, and of course Coutinho. Coutinho gets an A+ from Daniel, signing of the season. Paulinho gets an A-, started strongly but faded. I think that's a pretty accurate description. Dembele got a B-, began the season with several injuries and has found it hard to adjust. Went on the pitch, though made a significant difference. Semedo gets a B-, and Yerry Mina with a C-. Let me give you my take. So rather than reading out what Daniel here gave, so Coutinho, I think an A+. I think that's very, very generous, Daniel. I think, an A+ really mean that he's exceeded expectations. I think that's generous, in my opinion. An A+ would qualify if we had seen just that little bit tiny more. I feel that the consistency in Coutinho's case lacked a little bit. Although we had stellar performances, in the isolated performances, I think on a week-to-week basis, that lacked. I would give him more an A-. I think here Daniel's been a little bit generous with his grades. That's not to say that, an A- is bad by all means. I mean, Jesus Christ, obviously not. But, I do expect him next season to be more adjusted, to be, have it the preseason with Valverde and have a better understanding of what is expected of him. I don't think that we can mold him into Andres Iniesta. I think that, we can all concur. But I do expect him. I expect a lot from him, based on what I've seen, and I expect him to improve on that. So hopefully next season will be an A- or an A+. But this right now, I would give him probably an A-. Paulinho an A-. I think that's pretty generous too. I agree here with Daniel that he started the season off strongly. Absolutely. I mean, remember his goal, I think it was against Getafe, that sealed us the winner there in a very complicated game, and then faded. I think that's an accurate and fair description. I think Paulinho went de más a menos, from more to less, which is a shame, and I think that's kind of why now is the right time to sell Paulinho. Don't forget that he came in with a heavy price tag and also a heavy age. He's on the wrong side of his 20s. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's 30 now or 29. Anyways, he's on the wrong side of whatever it is, age point that he is on. And right now, given that he had a pretty solid performance, I think that he should, right now is a good time to ship him off. We can get, recoup some of that money that was invested in him, because I hope that Barça will be looking to kind of go back to that traditional. I hope that Valverde will be looking to go back in a more traditional style of play when it comes to Barça's brand, and I don't think Paulinho really fits in that. I'm grateful for what he has done. He has exceeded my expectations in that sense. I think, he came with so much scrutiny, so much bad press, from fans alike, and me included. I include myself, of course, and he's certainly, been way above par. But I think now is a good time to ship him off, because, also take into account that as of now, his precio se va a amortizar, right? The price is going to go down, given his age and given his performance. I certainly don't expect him to be playing potentially as much, depending on who we sign, but probably his production will go down. So now would be a good time to ship him off. Moving on to Dembele, B-. I think that's fair. Daniel here says began the season with several injuries, found it hard to adjust. I think, obviously, the injury, he wasn't injury prone beforehand, became injury prone, or has suffered that injury, the back-to-back injury, which had him sidelined for a good 5 months, and found it hard to adjust. Well, it's going to be hard for him to adjust because he's not a player that fits that 4-4-2 scheme. All you DSpot loyals will know that I'm an avid believer that Dembele needs to play in a 4-3-3 formation rather. And I He needs to be up in the top there with the front three strikers. He cannot, with the forwards. He cannot be playing in the mid. He cannot be used as a kind of a flank or a winger, if you will. That is not, or a winger certainly, but not in coming off the midfield in the 4-4-2 formation. He's not a player that really is defensively sound, doesn't know how to track back, and I don't know if we can really teach that from him. I think the way France is playing right now is a very interesting scheme. I'm hoping that Valverde is taking note, because we see him, el chico se está saliendo, right? He's really coming out of his shell with the French team, and that gives me great hope that he has it in him. He's kind of overcome maybe that fear, that there was certainly a fear factor, which is psychological, which is certainly understandable in such a young kid who comes with an incredibly high price tag, 105 mil fijos, solid, guaranteed. The bonuses, we can discuss in a later date. It's not a topic now, but heavy price tag nonetheless. And for him to now, to suffer the back-to-back injuries, to be playing alongside of Messi, to be playing out of position, that's tough. That's tough. So, I think a B- is fair. He's had some good performances, Chelsea, etc. But certainly hasn't been playing regularly as much as we want him to be playing, expect him to be playing, and I hope that Valverde will be able to count on him a lot more. But if he is, it does mean a 4-3-3, and that leaves a lot of question marks. So we will see what happens with the signings and how Valverde expects and wants this team to be playing. Moving on to Semedo, the B- here, put by Daniel, played well when called upon, but never outstanding. Something that Barça fans wanted. With 1 year under his belt, hopefully will begin to show Blaugrana what he possessed at Benfica. I think B- is fair. I think, what I would add on to Daniel here is that he hasn't been playing regularly. Sergi Roberto has been playing a lot more in that position as opposed to him. I hope that he played more. I wish he played more. I hope he will play more. I think he's a sound, player, athletically incredibly gifted, in great shape. I think that he has what it takes to be filling in the boots of Dani Alves, which is a lot to ask. I don't expect him to do that tomorrow, but certainly over time, I think he's a player that kind of fits that Barça mold of the flanks. Really moving up the right side of the pitch in this case, and accompanying that attacking front line with putting in deadly crosses to the likes of Messi, Suarez and Dembele, etc. Mirroring really what Jordi Alba is doing on the left. That is ideal. I think he has what it takes, and hopefully we'll be able to see that. So right now B- I think is fair. Obviously, I think criticizing this player for the defeat against Roma and against Levante is unfair, really. Singling him out was I wasn't part of that bandwagon, and I hope to God that he's given another chance, because I think he has it in him, this boy. Now, Yerry Mina, C, it gets a pass from Daniel, simply not enough minutes to determine otherwise. When he did play, there was a lot of goals scored, sometimes due to his defensive gaffes. Sometimes, I know that we're all thinking of Levante here, that 5-4 was a game to forget in his case. Again, singling him out, I think is unfair, but I would agree with Daniel's assessment that there simply hasn't been enough minutes, man. This guy came in January. Same can be said for Coutinho, of course, came in January and has adjusted a lot better. Has had more playing minutes too. Yerry Mina really wasn't a player that Valverde wanted, wasn't a player that he counted on. He wanted Iñigo Martínez from Real Sociedad, let's not forget. No le hicieron caso, they didn't pay attention to him, and brought in Yerry Mina for 12 million. And Valverde said, well, I'm not going to be playing him very much in that case. I prefer to count on my two centrales, obviously, Big Sam and Beckenbauer. And Vermaelen has been, finally in form, so deservedly so, had been playing minutes. And Yerry Mina, he hasn't. What's going to happen with Yerry? I think that he, again, has been unfairly singled out. I believe in his qualities. I think he's an exciting player. He certainly brings a lot of attitude, a lot more than just football to the dressing room. So that's something that should be kind of taken into consideration as well when discussing Yerry Mina. You know, I think a positive influence in the dressing room is much needed during these kind of times. And in terms of his style of play, I think that he can adjust. I think that the things that I had seen from him on his good days were certainly telling and promising. So to give up on him, I think would be a shame. But you know, it looks like Lenglet is on the transfer wish list, so to say. And if it is, then Lenglet is I mean, man, he's, you know, we've seen what he's done at Sevilla. Sevilla, of course, has had a lot of bad games this season, a lot of 5-goal thrillers that were going against them, not only against Barça but against Betis and against Madrid, etc. So, you know, but I think Lenglet is obviously certainly a proven guarantee in the defensive line. So we'll see what happens, man. I think, you know, I would like to see Yerry Mina stay on, but I doubt it, to be honest. I think he'll be shipped off, and let's see if we can recoup some of that 12 million. It's also a shame that Marlon Santos, let's give a little shout out to our Barça B player on loan over at Nice, who now will be joining whatever the fucking team was in England. But 15 million, I think, was the call, you know, was the price there. So 15 million for Marlon Santos, I think, is a very good price. And that's it, man. That's it. Let's see who is the Barça signing of the season. I think there's really no debating, right? I think we all know it's Paulinho. Nah, I'm gonna go with Coutinho as well. But let's see what the majority here voted. Well, 80% for Coutinho, 9% for Paulinho, Dembele, Semedo, and Mina in that order. All right. Let me take a little break here. Fuck me, already 17 minutes in. Jesus Christ, time flies when you talking Barça. Let me take some of your comments, because who knows, I'm not even going to get into that. What's up, y'all? Let me see. So, who is coming and who's leaving? Says Ashakir. Well, who's coming? Quite frankly, I don't know. I don't think Griezmann is coming at this point. I just don't think so. I think Griezmann, even, you know, him doubting, I think if he would have wanted to come, by now he would have already come. You know, just think of it in a way as like, you know, say a girl that wants to see you, you want to see her really, really badly, but, you know, your date keeps postponing. At some point, you got to ask yourself, well, listen, if you really wanted to see me this badly, we would have seen each other at this point, don't you think? I think, I don't know if you guys can relate. Back in my dating days, I certainly had some of those scenarios where you think everything looks good to go, but something keeps getting in the way. Well, I think in this case, Griezmann and Barça, that relationship, if you want to put it that way, is kind of similar. If he wanted to come, he would have come already, man. Why are you doubting? A club like Barça, a train like that passes you once in a lifetime, my friend. You can be playing with the most beautiful shirt in the world, defending el escudo más orgulloso, más bonito, defending the most beautiful crest in the world, and be playing alongside somebody the likes of Leo Messi, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. I mean, why hesitate, mi amigo? Firma ese papeleo, sign that contract and get your ass over here. If not, you know, good knowing you, see you later. Let's move on to the next. I would like Mbappé to come. I prefer Mbappé to come over Griezmann, in all honesty. But, bueno, mira, pues eso es lo que hay. Griezmann is really the hot Eriksen people keep talking about. I wanted to give you guys a little glimpse on Rodrygo, the new star of Santos, that now apparently Real Madrid is also in the signing of this kid. We'll see, okay? But let me get to that a little bit later on. Take a couple more questions. Ahmed saying, whoa, long time, my brother. How you been? I'm sorry for the accident. I've been missing you. Ahmed, loyal viewer. What's up, my man? Thank you for the well wishes. It's all good. Looks like I got in a little bit of a knuckle fight, but I'm good. Walking with a limp, but then that's kind of cool, isn't it? Walking with a little bit of attitude, you know what I'm saying? So, I'll be all right, man. I'll be all right. Thank God it could have been a lot worse. Basically what happened, I'll just explain this situation. I was on my bike. It was a little bit of a breeze, so I wanted to zip up my jacket. So I was doing that. In the middle of zipping up my jacket, there was a car in front of me that wanted to cross. It was basically a cross section. So I was entering the cross section. The car wanted to cross. It was my fault. And while zipping up, I, kind of instinctively grabbed with my left hand the brake, which was obviously stupid because the left brake is the front brake. I hit that motherfucker and went boo! Just went flying forward and crashed on the ground, and had the bike also, the bike then flips, had the bike drop on top of me. It's an electric bike, so it weighs like 20 kilos or some shit. So my legs are not a pretty sight, but we'll be alright. We're gonna be alright. Okay? And that's what happened, really. Could have been worse. People come around. No ambulance, thank God. Was this close to fainting. Got cold sweats. Had to lay down. But we're all right. We're all right. So thank you for that. That's all that happens, really. Happy Ashakir saying, oh wait, no, hold on. Rutush, our Madridista friend, saying, get well soon, ídolo. Thank you. We need you for the banter on Twitter. Thank you, man. I'm back. All right. I'm happy for Umtiti's renewal. Big Umtiti. Big renewal. Signed that contract. Big Sam is here to stay. Let's hope mentally now he can be more focused and really engaged, because I wish he would have known. He called Barça his home. He never really contemplated leaving. I wonder if that was his train of thought when he was playing Roma, because since we're all singling out sometimes players, well, Umtiti for me had a big blame in that disastrous game against Roma, and I think it was up here. It wasn't the Umtiti that we've grown accustomed to, far from it. So, I'm happy too. So, Salif is saying, how are you, bro, Griezmann? So, I think I'm good. Okay, thank you. And Griezmann, I think I've given my feedback. So that is that. Rutu saying, far from being better than Ronaldo at the start of the season to wanting him gone. Don't know who you're referring to. Paulinho, maybe. Ashakir saying, can Dembele play on the left side of Barça? Because I saw him in France. Yeah, he was on the left. That was a really interesting. I know the game you're referring to. It was against Italy, if I'm not mistaken. Played outstanding. Played on the left. Astute observation there. Very interesting. On the left, of course, we got Coutinho. It really depends. It depends on how we're gonna play. Are we gonna continue with the 4-4-2, or we're gonna move on to a 4-3-3? I'm gonna regurgitate. If it's a 4-4-2, and Griezmann is coming, there's no room for Suarez. Vice versa, there's no room for Dembele, because Dembele would have to move down to the midfielders, and he can just not play there. He cannot play there. It's not his position. Valverde's tried. Es que no funciona. It just doesn't work. 4-3-3. You got Messi, Griezmann / Suarez / Dembele at the top. I think Dembele would go to the right. And have Griezmann on the left if Griezmann comes. If he doesn't, who are you going to put on the left? Is it Suarez? Suarez has kind of shown that he is not comfortable on the left. I remember early on in the season, this season, we had a couple of times instances where Suarez was playing in a 4-3-3 on the left and just looked seriously out of place. I guess what I'm getting at is that now is the time to ship off Suarez. I say that with a little bit of a heavy heart, because I am a Suarez fan when he scores goals. But again, it's similar to Paulinho's case. It's now or never. Again, he's the wrong side of his age. Don't know exactly what I think. It's his early 30s. Still is on high production, so produces well, whether it is on goal, whether it is giving assists, whether it is just drawing defenders with him and creating space for Messi to get in his goals. He's a high production player, but just a high salary and age-wise on the wrong side of his 30s. He's 30-something, right? So right now is the time to cash in and try to recuperate some of that money that we invested in him, because es que el precio se va a ir bajando. The price of his will just keep going down. And I think, we really want to invest in youth, and invest in a Barça mentality. So in a 4-3-3 youth that is able and apt to play in a 4-3-3 formation. And Suarez, unless, and I've said this before as well, unless Suarez already is willing to accept reducing down his minutes and accept a kind of call it a Larson type of role, I just think now's the time. Vale. Next one. How many minutes are we on? God damn, 25 minutes, and I haven't even covered half of the stuff that I wanted to, man. Well, can't go on for much longer, my friends. Ken Debele playing. Okay, I got that from Tanzania. What's going on, Omi? Omi from Tanzania, all the way from Tanzania. Beautiful country you have there, Mon Ami. Speaking of Mon Ami, Abu Bakar, c'est dommage que ça ne soit pas en français. Je suis désolé, mec. Je suis très désolé, mais je parle pas très bien le français. Otherwise, I would do more en français for our African or French-speaking friends. C'est dommage. Ouais, c'est vrai. Rutu is saying, if he wanted to defend the most beautiful crest in the world, wear the most beautiful shirt, and play with the GOAT, Griezmann would have come to Madrid. Look at Rutuj. Sticking it to us culés. Next question. Favorites for the Mundialito? Spain will blow away all others. No? I don't know about that. I don't think there will be any blowouts by any means. I think Spain has got a very good chance. I'm very hopeful that Spain will win. But I would love a Spain-Argentina final. And if Spain cannot win, then absolutely, I want Messi to win that Mundial por fin, so we can all put this GOAT debate to rest. As I see Saad Assad popping in the conversation. What's up, Saad? I love you too, my friend. How's things over in Kuwait? Our recently graduated buddy and DSpot loyal. Mohammed saying, please get us Thiago back. Just let Piqué and just like Piqué and get it back up, right back, and let Digne leave. And we should concentrate on the Masia. Please, 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 La Masia. Mohammed speaking words of wisdom right there. So let me just discuss Thiago. Let me discuss Digne, because it looks like he's going to be leaving, and or that he has suitors, people interested. So we'll see. I would like Thiago to come back. Now, let me take you over to a little article here that I wanted to discuss. I'm going to have to do this a little bit quicker than what I wanted to. But here, el Bayern pone precio a Thiago. So they're saying, Sport is saying that Bayern is asking for 70 million, that's 70 for Thiago, but could go down to 50 if a player is included in the operation, in the transfer. According to Sport, they're interested in Digne, seeing as he doesn't have a lot of opportunity given Alba's excellent performance, so they could go down. So we're tossing Digne here at 20 and tossing Thiago at 50. Let's not forget that Barça sold Thiago to Bayern for 35 mil. I would love him to come back. Quite honestly, I would. I was a little bit hesitant, a year ago, for him to come back home because of his injuries. I still don't know if he's injury prone or not. He's had definitely some serious setbacks that need to be taken into account. Something we just can't afford, right? Messi said it the other day himself over here in his interview with Mundo Deportivo. Go check that out, by the way. I will try to maybe in my next session I can translate it because Mundo Deportivo does not have a English version, but had a very rare, I should say, and great chat with Messi, talking about no podemos estar otro año sin Champions. Messi putting the Champions League as a priority, saying, we cannot afford going another year without winning the Champions League. Venimos de 3 Champions seguidas cayendo en cuartos y eso no puede pasar más. We've become now, we've experienced 3 seasons in a row where we are eliminated in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and this cannot continue to happen. So Messi here placing a lot of importance in the Champions League. And why do I say that? Because of this kid, right? Because of Thiago, that we see here dribbling with the ball. He's an injury-prone player, in my opinion, and I have my doubts. I like him so much. Obviously, I would love him. He's Barça DNA. He fits the system. He knows the system. He has buddies. He'll fit seamlessly in the dressing room. No problem of adaptations there whatsoever. But what does need to be said is that he left. He wanted to leave. He didn't have the patience to stick it out. So he'll come with a bit of a price tag there. And like I mentioned, is injury prone, right? But he played outstanding, man. Especially the what was it? The semifinals against Madrid. I thought, he had Modric and Kroos and company just eaten up. He had them on lock. Okay, he had those motherfuckers on lock, beating them and winning the battles there. So that kind of made me change my opinion and made me contemplate on a move back home for Thiago might be the best thing for all parties involved, really. So you know what I'm saying? That is it, man. Saad, oh yeah, that's something I wanted to address as well. Thank you, Saad. The Saad here mentioning the Salah rumors. Come on, man. Do I really need to say it? It's bullshit. Okay, that's some straight up bullshit. There's no way that Liverpool is even willing to negotiate the transfer of their star player. Possibly could have been he'll be on the podium for the Ballon d'Oro. In my opinion, the third best player in the league. I was gonna say of all leagues after Messi and Chris. Then that's some bullshit right there. I don't even pay attention to those rumors, man. Especially not when I see the medio, the newspaper that releases it is nobody else but the Sun, right? I think it was the Sun or Us. I mean, look, let's not forget that we're in the business of selling newspapers here, and a lot of bullshit will be coming out. And the Salah rumor for me is a clear and utter, bullshit story. Ruto saying Thiago locked down Modric and Kroos. They locked down the champions. That's true, man. But you guys were certainly not better. It's certainly not better. Madrid, don't even get me started, Rutush, on your lucky ass Champions League run. Don't get me wrong. Luck is a factor that all champions experience. La suerte del campeón, they call it here in Spain. Luck of the champion. But Madrid was so lucky this year, man. Oof. I mean, Bayern was playing without, and I'm going to stop it there because I can continue on for another hour if you're going to get me talking on this. But just leave it at this. Bayern was playing without Ribery, Vidal, ¿cómo se llama? Robben and Boateng. Okay, that's 4 star players injured, and then the offside goals. Was there offside goals? I'm trying to think. No offside goals against Bayern, but a whole bunch of injury. Wait, no. Well, fuck. There was the goalkeeper, whatever his name was, who just gifted you the goal, right? Similar to the final. So that's my point. Let's not get into that. Okay, luck. You guys are lucky. I think Thiago did win that midfield battle, though. Yes, I do. Salah, bullshit. So last question here. Omi asking about who fits the Barça DNA, Eriksen or Panic, excuse me. I like Eriksen. I like him a lot. I know there's a lot of talk of Panic coming. I don't even want to pronounce his name, but him coming. honestly, I haven't really seen enough for me to say that he would fit the mold perfectly. I've seen plenty of Eriksen to say I like Eriksen a lot. But my money is kind of on Thiago, man. We'll see. I think, again, you're talking about seamless adaptation and everything. I would like to see that materialize. Vamos a ver qué pasa, okay? I gotta go, but I'm gonna give you guys one last little bit of news because it kind of piqued my interest. As Sad is saying, our summer should be Thiago. How do you pronounce the name? Panic, no Griezmann, Coutinho, and then wish I could tag Kian here. I'll be talking to Kian about this. Don't worry, Rutush. I'm gonna be talking about Kian. And bueno, mira, the last bit of noticia, okay? Real Madrid supera al Barcelona y Rodrygo se acerca. So AS is claiming that Madrid right now is ahead in getting Santos's new star kid in Rodrigo, and reportedly are making an offer of 45 millis, which is 15 more than Barça. Don't know if it's true, don't know if it's not, but I do know that Barça has been heavily interested and has been contemplating giving this 30 million to Santos. However, Santos is reluctant to talk to Barça because they still want more money from the whole Neymar saga. So the fact that Real Madrid is now in play is something that is expected, and I think that Real Madrid is in a better position than ever to obtain the services of this exciting young kid with so much potential, who I think actually would be a fantastic player to have on the left-hand side. We talked about Dembélé earlier. I forget who mentioned it, but when we talk about I was supposed to be meaning to share the screen. We talk about Dembélé playing on the left. I would love a front three of Barça, which would include Rodrigo on the left, Messi in the middle, and Dembélé on the right. So I think this kid has got something in him, something special. He's very young. But just what I've been seeing from him, what I've been hearing from him as well from sources who work at Santos or close to Santos, this kid has got something. He's got that X factor. He's got that special something about him, and I think Barça will be doing themselves a whole lot of good, making an effort on strengthening their relationships with Santos in this case, and make sure that this kid doesn't go to Real Madrid. But man, we'll see. He's very young. He still has a lot to prove, but tiene algo. He's got that little something in him. What I'm really interested to see Vinicius as well. Reportedly him coming this summer to Madrid. En fin, oye, 38 minutos, 38 minutes. Who the hell's gonna watch 38 minutes of this? I hope all of you guys do. Please make sure you share and tell all your friends about Barça Blaugranes. Follow us on Twitter. Make sure you tell them about DSpot on YouTube as well. Subscribe. Click that notifications button so you don't miss out on any of that good old content. Alright, it's been a pleasure. It's been good talking to you guys again. As normal, Sad saying I would get this Rodrygo guy as a long-term Coutinho replacement. I think Coutinho's in the mid. I would put Rodrygo up top, my friend. That's how I see it. Rabiot rumors. I don't know, but let's not forget that Xavi said that if you could get anybody for Barça, it would be Rabiot. That for me kind of says it all. So I would be, if Xavi says it, lo firmo. I put a stamp of approval on whatever Xavi has to say. Coutinho's a winger for you. He can be a winger, but I think we need him more right now in the mid. En fin, chicos, mira, lo debatimos otro día. We'll talk about this another day. 40 minutes of DSpot. Barça Blaugrana is coming at you. Share the content, subscribe as always. It's been a pleasure. Missed you guys. Thank you for your comments and the love, the well wishes. Hablamos la próxima vez. Chao.